Tonight on West Dakota Fox News at 9, a violent police shootout caught on camera. Plus, a warning for parents at Mandan Middle School. Danger could be lurking in a new kids chat app. But first, possible Russian interference right here in North Dakota.
This is West Dakota Fox News at 9 with Molly Martinez and meteorologist Henry Blakes. Your first news of the night starts right now on West Dakota Fox News at 9.
Good evening, I'm Molly Martinez. The Dakota Access Pipeline protests made waves on social media, but not all of it may have been organic or even domestic. A new report from a U.S. House committee says Russia may have acted as an instigator. Bo Evans spoke with our congressional delegation about what that means.
This clash between protesters and law enforcement may have more to do with the Russia controversy than you might think.
American energy dominance is a great threat to their economy, which is, of course, then a direct threat to their national security. And so it's not surprising that they would have a vested interest in trying to upset our energy markets.
A report from a congressional committee in D.C. says pipelines and infrastructure were a primary target of the Kremlin. Senator Heidi Heitkamp says this new evidence of Russia wading into state and local issues to foment divisiveness and potential violence is a further example of why the federal government and states have to get serious about election interference this fall. She was joined by Senator John Hoeven saying this is another troubling example of the Russian campaign to sow division in our nation. Russia is clearly an adversary, which is why we voted to increase sanctions to push back on Russia. That is also why I continue to support the bipartisan Senate Intelligence Committee investigation into Russian interference in the U.S. Congressman Kramer says that some of the players in the conflict were used by Moscow.
The other thing that the Dakota Access Pipeline presented to the Russians was a fairly willing partner, or willing partners, both in the Native American community and in the environmental community. Unfortunately, I think that those communities were used by the Russian government.
The report says the posts were not limited to Dakota Access, but also targeted Sable Trail, Keystone XL, Colonial, Bayou Bridge, and Enbridge Line 5.
Speaking of online menacing, Mandan Middle School is warning parents about a supposedly safe chat site for kids. In a post on Facebook, Principal Ryan Egling says that he has been made aware of a website where kids are viewing off-school grounds. The website is named kidschat.net. It says it's the largest chat site for kids. However, the post says there are apparently adults on the site asking for pictures of children, email addresses, and lewd commentary. Time now is 9:03. Let's send it over to meteorologist Henry Blakes. Thanks, Henry. One of the men convicted of the kidnap and murder of a Montana school teacher was just charged with attempted murder of another prison inmate. Prosecutors say Michael Spell held down the inmate while another person beat him with a lock. Spell is serving a 100-year sentence for kidnapping and killing Sherry Arnold in January of 2012. New developments tonight in the alleged hazing and sexual assault cases at Richland 44 High School in Colfax. Tonight, School Board President Tim Godfrey has been placed on paid administrative leave effective immediately. The news was shared by School Board President Lisa Admonson in a letter to parents. The decision comes after 5 students were charged with 10 felony counts and another 24 misdemeanor counts. They're accused of holding down young male students in the locker room and sexually assaulting them. The Wishick School Board and District is responding to a lawsuit against them filed by a parent. Catherine Pinky claims the school district unfairly banned her from school grounds. Pinky claims the ban was in retaliation for some complaints she made about an incident where a child brought a gun to school. She says the school mishandled the situation. The district and school reply denies Pinky's allegations, adding the gun in the incident was brought to school by a 4th grader and was not a firearm and was a non-functioning starter pistol. Bismarck police are releasing the name of a man who barricaded himself inside a building yesterday. Police say 38-year-old Nathan Carlson was holed up for over an hour. He was arrested for endangering by fire or explosion, preventing arrest on a felony charge, and disorderly conduct and fleeing on foot. A truck memorial was held today in Wishick for 32-year-old Wayne Halverson. Halverson died on Saturday in Island Park, Idaho. 30 trucks paraded down the streets of Wishick. The drive was put together by some of Halverson's friends. Halverson was killed when his snowmobile went off a trail and hit a tree. The National Guard and Northern Plains Unmanned Aircraft System test site announced a deal that will give private businesses space to test drone technology. The deal covers 12,000 acres of Camp Grafton. The National Guard says the partnership will give much needed space to test new technologies, and it won't cost taxpayers anything.
We don't want to use taxpayers' dollars where they're not intended to. So if somebody wants to come and use these facilities, they'll just basically reimburse us for any personnel time we might have, or call it like rent for the the buildings, that kind of stuff.
The agreement is open-ended, which means there's no set end date. Well, since last month's school shooting in Florida, officials in our state are starting to review safety policies to keep our kids safe. One idea is to station state troopers at rural schools. State troopers already get paid for some administrative time to do paperwork, but they currently have to do it in their car. The idea is to have them do that work from inside a school, whether in an office, a classroom, or the cafeteria.
This is just one thing that we can do quickly and sooner rather than later, but this needs to be a concerted effort with long-term goals. This problem didn't appear overnight, and it's not going to be solved overnight.
We currently have about 160 highway patrol officers here in North Dakota. We reported yesterday that North Dakota was just ranked the 4th best state in the nation by U.S. and World News Report. It's also the 4th most business-friendly state, according to 24/7 Wall Street. Megan Hoffman shows us why.
Graduation is approaching, and seniors at Bismarck State College are looking for the right job opportunity as they get set to head into the real world.
Yeah, there are a lot of good companies here that are looking for, young employees and, different perspective on things.
Ryan Knutson is a petroleum engineer major. He's hoping to strike gold with one of the many employers looking for the right candidate at this job fair. With North Dakota ranking in the top 4 as one of the overall best states and as one of the best business states, the career possibilities are endless. Denise Osmond with the North Dakota Department of Transportation says it's tough to get young people to stay in the state, but believes it's a great place for them to start their careers.
The state of North Dakota overall is just a wonderful place to be. We have so much to offer to everyone. We find so much talent in all of our local students.
Knutson, who's originally from Minnesota, says he loves North Dakota and would stay if he was offered a job.
I definitely enjoy living here, and I'd take it, definitely.
For West Dakota Fox News at 9, I'm Megan Hoffman.
Montana Dakota Utilities is expanding its wind farm near Hettinger. The project by Elite Clean Energy will add another 16 turbines. MDU says the $85 million expansion will boost its renewable energy from 22% to 27%.
We make our decisions through an integrated resource plan on what our future demand may be and what kind of resources we may need, and it's all based on cost. The bottom line is the least cost option for our customers.
The Public Service Commission approved the expansion request in November. On the health front, Department of Health officials say 94% of kindergarten students in the state had their required vaccinations this year. The vaccination rate was less than 90% 2 years ago. The department says they're close to their goal.
We want to see 95% because that's the rate you want to see, and that's going to really stop outbreaks from occurring if a disease is entered into a community.
Starting in the 2018-2019 school year, schools will exclude children who don't meet immunization requirements by October 1st. For a list of those requirements, you can find them on yournewsleader.com. A New York City nanny accused of murdering 2 children in her care appeared in court today. Prosecutors say Yoselin Ortega waited for the mother to leave the apartment before fatally stabbing the 6- and 2-year-old. She is charged with 2 counts of first-degree and 2 counts of second-degree murder. Shockingly, new released police cam video shows a shootout in San Francisco. During the incident, officers fired 65 rounds in just 15 seconds. The chaotic scene unfolding after a man wanted for homicide opened fire on officers from inside an RV. Amazingly, no one was hurt. In Virginia, authorities say a body they discovered is that of a missing mother, Terrellyn St. John. Detectives discovered the 23-year-old's body around 9 this morning, about a mile from her home. The young mother was reported missing Tuesday. Deputies went to her house and found the front door open and her 2 young children inside alone. One suspect is under arrest. Authorities are investigating a small plane crash near Dallas. It's not clear what took the plane down. According to local authorities, the pilot was uninjured. The wreckage could be seen from the air with the plane's nose sheared off from the front of the aircraft. And an hours-long backup in Illinois today after a major crash involving multiple semi-trucks and passenger vehicles. It's unknown at this time if anyone was hurt. Aerials show 1 semi and 2 cars on fire after the impact. Also in Texas, crews are investigating a house explosion. Once they got to the scene, they immediately shut down gas lines. This is just outside of Dallas. Crews say thousands of residents will be without gas for about 3 weeks. And a massive dig out is underway in central Arkansas after a broken dike triggers a mudslide in Pangburn. Officials say 5 homes were flooded by the mudslide. Thankfully, no one was hurt. The mudslide did cause a power outage in the area. Crews in Dallas had to pull off a water rescue this morning after a woman gets trapped in her car in rising waters. Rescuers helped the woman out of the SUV and got her to safety by walking along a pipe. The National Weather Service issued a flash flood warning for the Dallas metro area overnight. One car was seen nearly submerged on I-30. The driver was rescued, but said the waters rose too quickly for them to get out safely. More than a dozen people were rescued from flooding overnight. This gives whole new meaning to carpool. Streets around Monroe County, Tennessee were under water today. Heavy rains coupled with drainage issues caused several cars and trucks to get stuck in the high waters in the area. Forecasters say more flooding could be on the way. And it's not just stateside. Heavy rainfall swept through parts of North Queensland, Australia, leading to flash floods all over the region. Over 14 inches dumped in the coastal city of Townsville yesterday and today, waterlogging several cars. From rain to snow, drone video captures a bird's eye view of Paris after a fresh blanketing. Iconic landmarks like the Eiffel Tower got a substantial dusting. This winter has seen an unusual amount of snowfall for the city. People in the Netherlands are making the best of the recent cold snap. As the lakes freeze over, they're turning them into skating rinks. Many people taking to the ice to skate despite warnings from authorities and emergency services. Henry, you said you always wanted to ice skate, right?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to. Still got a little bit of time for that, especially at some of the parks, but right now.
Welcome back. It is the best time of year for bibliophiles. The Bismarck Library is having a massive book sale. Book lovers can peruse all sorts of genres, games, puzzles, and media. Maddie Jelseth found out who the sales are helping.
The Bismarck Public Library's biannual book sale is selling thousands of books to raise money for projects for the library. Bookworms of all ages go to the sale to find their favorite novels.
It's always great to have new books to read at home because we read so often. Everyone can get a little bored, including me, so it's fun to add some new interesting stories and topics to the mix.
Genres range from fiction to Western, which is Timothy Shook's favorite.
I can sit and read for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day. It doesn't bother me.
Not only is there a large variety of books, the price is outrageously cheap, costing $1 a pound.
A good deal.
Yeah,
it is.
Shook says he bought 38 books for $24, but the market value for those books would have been over $550.
It is a very good deal because most of those books, for example, I picked one up yesterday, was a regular price book was $12.95. That's all books.
People left the sale with arms full of books, smiles on their faces, and many hours of reading ahead. Reporting at the Bismarck Public Library, for West Dakota Fox is at 9, I'm Maddie Jelseth.
In business news, the Equifax data breach keeps growing. The company says at least 2.4 million more people were hit by the data breach last year. That's in addition to the 145 million originally affected. And Microsoft is harnessing the sun to power its data centers across Singapore. The tech giant finalized a 20-year agreement with Singapore-based solar firm Sunseap. Microsoft is set to purchase all solar energy generated by the company throughout the city-state. And eBay is introducing a new feature called Under $10. It lets shoppers search through a wide variety of items, $10 or less, with free shipping. No bidding is even required. The new section is aimed towards millennials, but the company reps say there's something for everyone. Today kicked off a colorful religious celebration in Pakistan. Members of the Hindu community in Karachi taking part in the Festival of Holi. Revelers blowing colored powder and squirting colored dye on each other. Parts of the festivities, which include music and dancing. Hindus believe that Holi brings about a message of unity and friendship, bridging the communal divide. And an extremely rare bowl dating back to the Qing dynasty is hitting the auction block. And if all goes according to plan, this gold pink bowl should fetch $25.6 million. The porcelain bowl is one of only 3 known to exist from what used to be the Kangxi Emperor, who reigned from 1661 to 1722. Henry, when's your birthday? I'm going to bid on that.
You've got several more months. Actually, you kind of missed it a couple months ago in November. You'll save up. Yeah, you got time for that, especially with tomorrow. We're looking at slight chance of snow across the south central and eastern part of the region, mainly during the morning hours. Elsewhere, it is going to be cloudy, and the wind will be increasing at least during the second half of the day. So be mindful of that, becoming blustery at times with the east wind, but at least we're still in the 30s. Another nice day for Saturday, except across the north, but accumulating snow with a winter storm for Sunday and Monday.
All right, thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow.